911 location of your emergency?
Something is happening. Something's happening in our house. We don't know what.
What is the address of the emergency?
1122.
What is the rest of the address?
Oh, Kings Road.
Okay. And is that a house or an apartment?
It's a house.
Can you repeat the address to make sure that I have it right?
I'll talk to you guys. We live at the White, so we're next to them.
I need someone to repeat the address for verification.
The address, 1122 King Road.
And what's the phone number that you're calling from?
What's your phone number?
And tell me exactly what's going on.
One of the roommates has passed out, and she was drunk last night, and she's not waking up.
Okay.
Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night. Yeah. Sorry,
And are you with the patient? Okay, I need someone to keep the phone, stop passing it around.
Can I just tell you what happened very much?
What is going on currently? Is someone passed out right now?
I don't really know, but pretty much at 4 a.m.
Okay, I need to know what's going on right now if someone is passed out. Can you find that out?
Yeah, I'll come. Come on, let's go check. But we have to. Did you touch her? She's not waking up.
Okay, one moment. I'm getting help started that way.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and how old is she?
She's 20.
20, you said?
Yes, 20. Here's one.
Okay.
Hello? Hello?
Okay, I need someone to stop passing the phone around because I've talked to 4 different people.
Hey, sorry, they just gave me the phone.
Is she breathing?
Hello?
Is she breathing?
No.
Okay.
Talk to them, okay? I can't talk to them today. You can talk to them.
Hello.
Okay. I've already sent the ambulance and law enforcement. Stay on the line. If there is a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it.
Say that again. There's a police here right now.
Okay. If there's a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it.
We don't have it. Do you have a defibrillator? Yes, we have one.
Are you talking to the officer?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to let you go since he's there with you and can help you.
Okay.
Today, we begin with a case that shook a peaceful college town in Idaho and captured the attention of the entire nation. 4 young lives stolen in the middle of the night. No forced entry. No witnesses. No clear motive. What is up, my crime crazy people? Did you miss us?
Today, we are back!
Welcome to Veil of Humanity. We are your hosts, Melonie, Yelvington,
And Kimberly Taylor. First, we just want to apologize for us being absent. You know, life has just been crazy for all three of us, really. Lives, and we have personal lives outside of this, and so we are grateful that you are still here, grateful for the downloads that are coming in, and grateful that we still have listeners. So much love to all of y'all, and thank you for being super patient with us.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks. Alright guys, grab your favorite beverage and a pillow to scream into as we go down this twisted, dark nightmare of a case.
And we are a fan of the cursey words, so
Sorry,
Courtney. You already know. And yes, we will be dropping them.
Trigger warnings, y'all. Talking of stabbing, stalking, there's mention of drugs, mental health, murder. Okay, Bess, are you ready?
I'm always ready.
This is the Idaho 4 murders. It was November 13th, 2022, a quiet Sunday morning in the college town of Moscow, Idaho. Population just under 26,000. A town where people rarely lock their doors and where everyone knows everyone else. But that morning, something horrific happened. At 11:58 a.m., a 911 call was made from a phone inside a house just off campus. The call came from 1122 King Road, a 3-story rental home shared by 6 University of Idaho students. Inside, 4 students were found brutally murdered.
Their names were Kaylee Gonsalves, 21 years old, Madison Mogan, 21 years old, Xana Kernodle, 20 years old, and Ethan Chapin, 20 years old.
Just babies. Just babies.
Yep.
All of them were students, friends, roommates, a couple. Kaylee and Madison had been inseparable since childhood, best friends in life, and tragically, in death. Xana and Ethan were dating. Ethan didn't even live at the house. He had just been visiting Xana that night. Go overstay at your girlfriend's house and never leave. I can't imagine.
This is just exactly what they're talking about when they say you have no idea when your last moments are.
Exactly. You don't. Yeah. They were all found stabbed to death in their beds, and the killer, he was gone. So, to understand how this all happened, let's kind of rewind a little bit to the night before. Saturday, November 12th, was just another college weekend. Kaylee and Madison went out to a popular bar called the Corner Club downtown. Surveillance footage later showed them laughing, chatting, ordering food from a late-night food truck just before 2 a.m. Because what else do you do? What else are you supposed to do?
That's apparently the thing to do nowadays.
Yeah.
To stream it on computers.
Yeah. So, Xana and Ethan were at a fraternity party nearby, and everyone returned back to the house about 2 a.m. So the other 2 roommates who survived had also been out that night. They arrived home earlier and they slept through the attacks. I could not imagine knowing that I was asleep in that same house and something brutally horrific took place. Well, all I did was sleep, and there was, my thoughts would have been, could I have helped? Could I have stopped it? My heart goes out to everybody involved in this case.
Yeah, and I think all those questions come into play when you ask yourself, the survivor's guilt thing. Like, why am I still here?
Exactly.
And everybody, I just woke up and everyone's dead. Like, what happened?
Yeah. These 2 would later become key to the investigation, but for hours, no one knew what happened. It wasn't until late Sunday morning that the bodies were discovered and that 911 call was placed.
Very late Sunday.
Very late. The murder sent shockwaves across the country. The case quickly drew national media attention. How could 4 young people be killed in their sleep without anyone hearing a thing? How is that possible? Is the guy a ghost? How did he sneak into a full house?
Did you know that there was blood all over the kitchen?
Yeah.
So how did everybody get attacked in their sleep if there's blood all in the kitchen?
He tracked it.
Huh?
He would have had to track it back through that house.
No, I'm talking about it was all on the counters and looked like there was a cleanup.
Yeah, but this being a stabbing, this is going to be a very messy.
This is very, very messy.
So I imagine when he went back downstairs, and even them,
I can't imagine, like, just barely touching.
tried to sneak through. But I imagine when they went to wake them up and was trying to shake them and put hands on them, and then they're covered in blood and they're scrambling. So I can see it spreading that way. You know, the initial reports were confusing. There was talk of a targeted attack, but there was no suspects, there was no weapons, and seemingly there was no answers. So rumors flooded social media because, you know, that day and age. So, you know, everything is all over. I think we were reading bits and pieces all over too, and you're not getting a straight story. You know, all it does is cause panic, and that just widespread through campus, through the U.S., you know. A lot of students just left town completely. They were done. And it would take weeks before an arrest was even made.
Which has to be like, I can't imagine thinking about anything else if I lived in that area and be like, oh, there's a killer somewhere, I gotta go.
I don't want to stay here. I don't want to be up.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is we pass by killers just about every day. You know, we're going to pass by somebody on the street, driving down the road, walking through Walmart. You're going to come across somebody that's either killed somebody in their life or is planning on it, or, you know.
Can you think about all the body cams and stuff we've watched, and you just loop-de-doing around and somebody's buying a shovel in Home Depot and you have no idea what they're doing. They're doing their gardening, but really they're burying a body.
Yeah.
That's the way we think.
Yeah, that is exactly. You driving along, you see that trash bag dumped on the side of the road, and my initial thought is that's a body. That is my initial thought, is that's a body.
I wonder if that's a body.
And that is so sad that it's ingrained in my brain. But I have read and studied it through crime.
That's just how much it's been drilled into us.
That's not.
It's out there.
Yeah, it's out there. That's not what you think it is.
Yeah.
On December 30th, 2022, over 6 weeks after the murders, police arrested 28-year-old Brian Koberger. He was a PhD student studying criminology, at Washington State University.
So what does that say to you?
That he should have known how to do it, or I know that sounds wrong, but
should have been smarter.
Should have been smarter. You should have. You're studying criminology. You're studying the ways of criminals. You're studying how everything kind of comes together.
Right.
In my mind, if you're studying this is not me admitting to anything, so do not take this out of place. But you should have a little bit more knowledge to pull this off.
But you know what?
But there is no perfect crime, and if you can dispute me on that one, let me know.
Yeah, there is no such thing as a perfect murder. We just haven't figured it out yet, just because it doesn't make it was perfect.
Exactly. So he had no known connection to the victims.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Which, usually there is, especially for as personal as a stabbing is. There's so many unanswered questions with this case.
That's usually like a lover type of
or
personal
family, or just someone like a hate. But man, the investigators linked him through cell phone pings, surveillance footage, and most importantly, DNA. And that DNA came from the sheath from a K-bar knife that was found next to one of the victims. His DNA was on that snap. So when you go to snap open the knife, the sheath that holds the knife, that's where his DNA was. Of all places to leave DNA. I don't think he thought about that. See, again, criminology student, you should have known this.
PhD.
Yes. But, why? Questions are why? Why would he commit this? Why would he commit such a brutal, senseless crime? Was he acting alone? Was he in love with one of the girls? Was he jealous one of the girls was getting some action and he wasn't? What's the motive here?
And didn't he try to throw that out there immediately when he said, did you get anybody else? Did you arrest anybody else?
Yeah, he did.
He tried to throw that out there.
That was one of his first questions.
Mm-hmm.
No, sir. No.
Not gonna work.
I'm sorry, but when your cell phone pings in the area multiple times, those flags are coming up right here, because your cell phone tracks everywhere you go, and then all of a sudden that night,
it was off for what?
It was off for
2.5 hours?
Yeah.
Like that's, what is that? Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Yeah, that's just funny.
It is.
It's funny, but it's not.
It's not. I know what you mean, but it's ironic. It really is.
Yeah.
There were no witnesses, no clear motive, no suspect. But then, just before, like I was saying, that New Year, Brian Christopher Courtney. Who was he? How did he end up on their radar? What exactly tied him to the crime?
Well, apparently you don't go home and act suspicious and digging through the trash and stuff.
He was not a known associate. He was not a classmate. He was not even a friend. He wasn't even a stranger on campus. He went to a completely different university.
Which is weird. Why are you over here? I know it's 10 minutes, but
still.
I never did the whole college town stuff, so I don't know how you behave. I don't know if you go campus to campus. But he's significantly older than them, too.
Yeah. So, and he was studying criminology. He was studying criminal justice. But he wasn't just any student. He had a master's degree in the same field from DeSales University of Pennsylvania. And at one point, he even posted a research survey online asking criminals to describe how they selected their victims and how they planned their crimes. Was it curiosity? Was it something darker?
Probably because he wanted to come up with his own, be original.
But you have to...
type of thing,
He was on the start to a perfect crime because he was asking all the right questions.
He thought he
was.
was.
Like he was doing a research. I will give him that. That's being smart. But he was described as intelligent, but awkward. And you can definitely see that looking at pictures of him, the way he moves and his mannerisms.
Have you seen the latest ones?
Yeah.
Where he's taking a picture of his little Levi's jeans.
Bless his heart.
Looking to see if there's anything back there yet.
No, honey, there's not.
I think he's very narcissistic after seeing those is worse.
People describe him as being very condescending, but I can see that. I can definitely see him as being kind of narcissistic. He even struggled with addiction in his past. He reportedly lost a lot of weight before moving to Washington. But nothing in his background suggested violence. At least not on the surface. So how did they find him? How did they land on him? What made them go, I think it's this dude? So, first was video footage. The investigators pulled hours of surveillance from around the King Road house and noticed a white Hyundai Elantra driving past the scene multiple times in the early morning hours of November 13th. So that same car was later traced to Kohlberger and registered in Pennsylvania, where he's from. Then there's all that cell phone data. But here's my thing. I heard rumors that he had a crush on one of the girls, so I think it was him driving around trying to see if he could see the girl.
I feel like I've always heard that somebody was a target.
Because that's very stalker behavior.
Yeah, because I think even at one point, I think it was a month prior to the murders, that I don't remember if it was Kaylee or not, but somebody was letting out Murphy.
Okay.
And somebody was across the way a month prior. Just across the way, kind of just staring at her. Can you imagine just standing outside, just letting your dog out, and you look up and there's just someone staring at you?
No thanks.
I'm like, okay, so if that was who was he staring? Who was it?
Was it her? Was it the house? Because his phone was pinged multiple times prior to that murder, to to the back of the murder. So, that is a big indication of premeditation at that point. But like I said, was he just passing through? Was he passing through because he was trying to catch a glimpse of the girl he liked? Or was it true stalker behavior? That's one thing, that's a question I want answered. Sir, can you answer that, please? We want answers.
Yeah.
And on the night of the murders, his phone was turned off between 2:47 a.m. to 4:48 a.m. right during the estimated time of the killings.
Oh, that was right at 2 hours.
That's not like ding ding ding, hello.
Yeah, they're gonna look at all your whole, like, he should know that. They're gonna look at your whole pattern.
Yeah, every single little detail you're gonna be. But he didn't think he was gonna get caught. He's like, oh, well, I'll get away with this. I got this.
If it's not, I'll get away with it just because it's not there.
Yeah. But again, the most damning piece of evidence, the DNA.
Yeah.
That leather knife sheath that was found.
Yeah.
That snap button. But the thing is, it didn't match directly to Kohlberger at first. Instead, authorities had to go retrieve DNA from trash outside his family's home in Pennsylvania while he was there for the holidays. That is not a job I would want.
Mm-mm.
As an investigator, can you go dig through someone else's trash? No thanks. But that DNA matched a close relative, likely his father, and eventually it was connected back to Kohlberger himself. He was arrested in the early hours of December 30th at his parents' home. He didn't resist. He simply asked, did they arrest anyone else?
Mm-hmm.
He was then extradited back to Idaho. There he was formally charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of felony burglary. In June of 2023, prosecutors announced that they would seek the death penalty. And what did he do? He pled not guilty.
Wasting time.
Always. His defense? They argue there's no direct evidence linking him to that crime scene. No murder weapon, no blood on his clothes, no eyewitness who can positively identify him. Here's my thing, is like we were saying at the beginning, stabbing is a very messy, brutal murder. Where did his clothes go?
And there's a video of him out there with only like 1 Band-Aid.
Yeah.
On his knuckle.
And
you're doing all that slinging and slicing and dicing.
You're gonna cut something.
Yeah. This
so
is what did you have on your hands?
He obviously did not pull the whole Dexter and wear plastic over him. No, that didn't happen because that's noisy as hell.
No, but he did have the coverall on.
Yeah, but where did that go and how come they couldn't find it?
I think he ran out of the house naked and
but they would have found the coverall.
Well, where's the knife?
Where's the knife? Where's the coverall? I have questions I need answers to, please.
Yeah.
Mr. Kohlberger, please answer.
It's crazy.
So, the prosecution, they built a case that around digital footprints, behavioral patterns, and forensic evidence. The public, we still want all these answers. Will we get them? Probably not. You know, why these students?
Yep.
Was it one girl in particular? Was it the guy by chance? Who was it? Because Ethan didn't live there. He wasn't supposed to be there. He's just, unfortunately, that was collateral. Why that night in particular? Why that night? Why did he choose that night? Was it an obsession? Was it a fantasy? Was it a targeted attack? As of now, there's still no clear motive. Nope. Nothing's been confirmed, at least on the public side. And of course, this case generated a massive wave of public interest, speculation, and misinformation. TikTok sleuths, YouTube theories, conspiracy forums. Some did help bring awareness to the case. Some of it has caused harm, particular to the families grieving, which I want to say we mean no harm to the families. We mean no harm. Our hearts are with you. A lot of the families have remained vocal, pushing for answers, demanding accountability, and showing up in court. Alright, so trial and everything started in June with the jury selection, The trial and verdict phases all spanning about 3 months. And on June 30th, 2025, reports confirmed that Koberger agreed to plead guilty to all charges, 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of burglary, in exchange for avoiding the death penalty. The deal also included a waiver of appeal rights. I don't think he believes that he's guilty. I think he didn't want to die and just said, okay, this is what I gotta do to stay alive.
This is just crazy.
Yep. So on July 2nd, he formally entered his guilty plea in court. Judge Hippler asked, "Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?" Which Koberger replied, "Yes," and I think he lied. He was sentenced on July 23rd.
Whoa.
What?
You think he lied about what?
I think he lied about when the judge asked him, "Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?"
Why do you think he's lying?
Because I think in his heart, he believes he's innocent, and he doesn't want to go death. He doesn't want to die with the death penalty, so he's just going to say yes to get an easier sentence. It's a catch-22. I think he did it, but I think he believes he's fully innocent. When you watch his court videos and you look at his face and the expressions and everything, he's got that look of, I don't know. He truly believes he didn't do this.
I don't know if that's what goes through his mind when I look at him in court.
What do you think?
It's just, the whole case is weird, and now that I've seen stuff after his plea deal of people saying that he's innocent, it just kind of caught me off guard.
I think we won't ever know until we know what his true motive was behind this.
Because they think that there's a whole cover-up. What is the point? How are you special over there?
Maybe he wasn't working alone.
That's what I'm saying.
But if they were all sleeping, it's easy to sneak in and catch them off guard.
But there's so much stuff.
There may be another person out there, but it doesn't mean that he would not. I think in his head, he's just thinking that he didn't do this. He thinks there is someone else out there to it. And that we did not have concrete evidence. So, July 23rd, 2025, he was sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences without parole, 1 for each murder, plus an additional 10 years for the burglary. He also was ordered to pay fines and restitution totaling around $270,000, which amazes me when they get stuck paying back restitution when they're in prison and all that, because I know they're pennies on the dollar.
Pennies next to nothing.
Yeah. So now normally we would have a bit of a different outro, but for this case, we want to leave you with the parting words of Kaylee's sister Olivia and what she said to Brian. So we will go ahead and let that play out. Thank you all for listening. Olivia Gonzalez, Kaylee's sister.
Hello, I'd like to start by thanking the court for allowing me the time and opportunity to speak today. My name is Olivia, and I am the big sister of Kaylee Gonzalez, and I was blessed to love Madison Mogan as a sister too. I'm not here today to speak in grief, I'm here to speak in truth. Because the truth is, my sister Kaylee and her best friend Maddie were not yours to take. They were not yours to study, to stalk, or to silence. They were 2 pieces of a whole, the perfect yin and yang. They are everything that you could never be. Loved, accepted, vibrant, accomplished, brave, and powerful. Because the truth about Kaylee and Maddie is they would have been kind to you. If you had approached them in their everyday lives, they would have given you directions, thanked you for the compliment, or awkwardly giggled to make your own words less uncomfortable for you. In a world that rejected you, they would have shown mercy. Because the truth is, I'm angry. Every day I'm angry. I'm left shouting at the inside of my own head everything I wish I could say to you. The truth about me is when I heard the news, I didn't cry. I listened for them. I promised them I would, that I would fight for them, that I would show up no matter what it cost me. I swore I'd never let them feel alone. Because you see, I've always been their heavyweight. I've always been the one to fight the battles they didn't feel ready to fight themselves. All it ever took was a call, and they knew I would handle it for them, no matter the time, no matter the cost. They could wave their white flag because they knew I would never back down, not for them. And not even death could change that. Somewhere along the line, I started to think about what I would say to them if I was given just one last chance. If I could gather enough heartbreak or love or sacrifice or whatever it took to get just one message across, what would I say? Throughout this entire process, I've written my feelings down at every moment, my wishes, my love, my denial, my anger. And as one final act of love, I'd planned to read these thoughts, even jarring and discombobulating and not even making sense. Because for me, that was true love. As bare and as naked as it could be, not laced in pretty words or dressed for the occasion, but written through bleary eyes at 2 a.m. with clenched fists, angry at this reality. My true final act of love was to continue on without them, for them. That dream to read aloud my love to them, to bring meaning through pain, was the latest blow in realizing you don't deserve it. And Kaylee and Maddie don't need it. Kaylee and Maddie have always known my love, and they would never ask me to prove it by further victimizing myself to a defendant who has shown no guilt, no remorse, no apprehension. They would say to me, "Why would you give the satisfaction of showing vulnerability now? You promised you would never back down." And for that clarity, I'm thankful. I won't stand here and give you what you want. I won't offer you tears. I won't offer you trembling. Disappointments like you thrive on pain, on fear, and on the illusion of power. And I won't feed your beast. Instead, I will call you what you are. Sociopath, psychopath, murderer. I will ask the questions that reverberate violently in my own head, so loudly that I can't think straight most any day. Some of these might be familiar, so sit up straight when I talk to you. How was your life right before you murdered my sisters? Did you prepare for the crime before leaving your apartment? Please detail what you were thinking and feeling at this time. Why did you choose my sisters? Before making your move, did you approach my sisters? Detail what you were thinking and feeling. Before leaving their home, is there anything else you did? How does it feel to know the only thing you failed more miserably at than being a murderer is trying to be a rapper? Did you recently start shaving or manually pulling out your eyebrows? Why November 13th? Did you truly think your Amazon purchase was untraceable because you used a gift card? How do you find it enjoyable to stargaze with such a severe case of visual snow? Where is the murder weapon? The clothes you wore that night? What did you bring into the house with you? What was the second weapon you used on Kaylee? What were Kaylee's last words? Please describe in detail the level of anxiety you must have felt when you heard the Bearcat pull up to your family home on December 30th, 2022. Which do you regret more? Returning to the crime scene 5 hours later, or never, ever going back to Moscow, not even once? after stalking them there for months. If you were really smart, do you think you'd be here right now? What's it like needing this much attention just to feel real? You're terrified of being ordinary, aren't you?
Juvederm collection of filler.
Do you feel anything at all? Or are you exactly what you've always feared? Nothing. If you're so powerful, then why are you still hiding, defendant? You see, I'm here today as me. But who are you? Let's try to take off your mask and see. You didn't create devastation. You revealed it in yourself. And that darkness you carry, that emptiness, you'll sit with it long after this is over. That is your sentence. And it was written on the wall long before you ever pled guilty. You didn't win. You just exposed yourself as the coward you are. You're a delusional, pathetic, hypochondriac loser who thought you were so much smarter than everybody else. Constantly scolding, turning your nose up to grammar mistakes, nitpicking and criticizing others. You wanted so badly to be different, to be special, to be better, to be deep, to be mysterious. You found yourself thinking you were better than everyone else, and you thought you could figure out the human psyche and see through it, all while tweaked out on heroin. Lurking in the shadows made you feel powerful because no one ever paid you any attention in the light. You thought you were exceptional, all because of a grade on a paper. You thought you were elite because your online IQ test from 2010 told you so. All of that effort just to seem important. It's desperate. There is a name for your condition, though. Your inflated ego just didn't allow you to see it. Wannabe. You act like no one could ever understand your mind, but the truth is you're basic. You're a textbook case of insecurity disguised as control. Your patterns are predictable. Your motives are shallow. You are not profound. You're pathetic. You aren't special or deep, not mysterious or exceptional. Don't ever get it twisted again. No one is scared of you today. No one is intimidated by you. No one is impressed by you. No one thinks that you are important. You orchestrated this like you thought you were God. Now look at you, begging a courtroom for scraps. You spent months preparing, and still all it took was my sister in a sheath. You work so hard to seem dangerous, but real control doesn't have to prove itself. The truth is, the scariest part about you is how painfully average you turned out to be. The truth is, you're as dumb as they come. Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, dirty. Let me be very clear. Don't ever try to convince yourself you mattered just because someone finally said your name out loud. I see through you. You want the truth? Here's the one you'll hate the most. If you hadn't attacked them in their sleep, in the middle of the night, like a pedophile, Kaylee would have kicked your fucking ass. Thank you.